4 a.m. club, we have got to talk about The Hague with the International Criminal Court and what's shaping up there. This is crazy because not only is this breaking news, essentially, it's not being reported as of right now. It's not being reported in the U.S., but this is also, Agia just said that, and the 4 a.m. club just said that. I am tying it into your dream prophecies. Hold on to your hats. I'm going to unpack it all for you. Okay, so I've been tagged in a bunch of videos about this. I've put the creators in below. I'm going to reference them, and I'm going to tell you what I found. So Goddess Mia made a video where she stitched another creator, which I know you tagged me in that original video weeks ago. I cannot for the life of me find it. Regardless, that original creator is saying that it's not being talked about on American TV, but in Spanish language TV in other countries. It is now known that the country of Venezuela has petitioned the International Criminal Court because of the U.S. sending their Venezuelan people, to the prison in El Salvador, and they're calling it human rights abuses, and they're petitioning, petitioning for the court to intervene. Now, theyre, she's made a bunch of videos on this, so please go watch, because she not only talks about it, she unpacks it, and she addresses a lot of questions and the objections, the pushback people have about this. Now, the main objection people have is that the ICC is not recognized in the US is not a member, which is true. However, two things make it relevant. Number one, the country of El Salvador is a member, and the United States officially, with that frickin' $6 million State Department contract, is officially conducting business in El Salvador, and El Salvador is a member of the ICC. And number two, Trump invoked the Aliens Enemies Act. He made it a wartime thing, which now makes this a war crime. Do you know how many times Spirit has said, let them do what they're going to do? Because the more they do, the more it contributes to their undoing. Okay, so again, theyre Moore, she's unpacked a lot of this in a lot of different videos. So like I said, please go back and watch her. But what I'm going to do in the rest of this video, first of all, I'm going to show you the clip from my April preview event. And then I'm going to tie it into your prophecies, your visions, your dreams that you have seen, because holy shit, it is all connected. Okay, so the April preview, quick setup for those of you who don't know, I'm a psychic. It's what I do, and I have started doing a new event where at the end of every month I have a group session and I invite everyone to come and we tune in to the preview, to the energies of the next month. So I'm going in blind. I'm not going in trance to channel, but I do channel live, and I'm bringing through the information as though the world is my client. We're saying, what the hell is going to happen this month? What do we need to look out for? Now, during the April preview event, I specifically asked about The Hague because this is something that's been coming to me for months, and I'd always gotten some pushback on that. Because yes, the U.S. Does not recognize The Hague, and yet it persisted. And I know by now that not everything I get from Spirit makes logical sense, but if it comes through strongly, it's important. And so even though it didn't really make sense, what is this? I was assuming it had to do with election interference, but that didn't make sense either, because I'm like, this is war crimes, crimes against humanity. What does this have to do with EI? I didn't know. So now suddenly that this is taking shape, I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. But also in this clip, I talk about why it had to happen this way, because I know, even though I'm giddy about them getting their comeuppance for these horrible things, what we've been witnessing and what they've been doing is horrific, and it's not okay, and it's making a lot of people deeply upset and very afraid. Yeah, understandably. So I also unpack from the spiritual perspective the role of karma and how we clear karma, and we go through certain events to clear the karma and thus get to essentially a payoff or a higher level because we've gone through the karmic clearing. So that's in this clip, and then as well as the insights from Spirit, and then I'm going to tell you how it ties in to your premonitions.
Are the deportations going to wind down soon or get worse? Yeah, this is another horrific thing that's happening. With the revelations coming out about what they're doing to these people, it is again weakening their position and them blatantly defying the judge's orders, which, by the way, also happened on the Ides of March. That was another thing that I was looking at as a domino of their undoing. Signalgate got bigger and louder, so I'm not seeing the deportations as being center stage. but it will ultimately be a thing that is part of their undoing because it's so flagrantly against human rights. Oh, okay. They're saying that's what's another piece of what's going on with the Hague is their human rights abuses. Okay, so they're saying this is the karmic payoff of, I know it's hard. I know we're not happy about people being hurt, but the karmic payoff is, you guys, because we have to think about how many centuries worth of humans have been tortured for terrible things. So there's so much karmic density around it that it's messy and splashy to fix it. So as we're seeing, I keep getting the thing, I volunteer as tribute. These souls who are going through, oh, lots of chills on that. These souls who are going through these horrific things, they volunteered as tribute to help us clear the karma and right the cycles of human abuses that have happened through time. And so what is happening to them is causing such a stir that brings the energy of, how could you? We have to change. Someone needs to get involved. And we're seeing the Hague and ICC and all these different things happening, which, I just saw that him invoking the Aliens Enemies Act, whatever that is, and then the judge says, no, you can't, and then they did it anyway, that now becomes a war crime because the Human Aliens Enemy Act is a wartime thing. And so that is another way of how the Hague gets involved. They're just adding charges to their rap sheet. So let them do it. Everything they do. Oh, yeah, and I'm seeing Kamala nod. She's like, let them do it. Let them do it because they're making a case stronger than what we could ever have made.
Yeah. Yeah, Gia just said that. Okay, so I went down a little rabbit hole of my own trying to figure out what's the probability that he gets nailed for this one, that he's actually arrested for this one. And understandably, it's a bit of a long shot because there's going to be a lot of legalities and it requires him maybe traveling out of the country, so another country will arrest him. And historically, other countries are not really a fan of doing that. I mean, Putin's had an arrest warrant for almost 2 years now. It's like, so there, I understand that people have a lot of objections and they don't think that this is going to be the thing. But remember how so many of you had dreams of military in white uniforms coming in to arrest him. Do you guys remember that? You were saying so much in one of my videos that I made an entirely new video and I was like, y'all, what are you dreaming? And so many of you had that same dream. And do you remember how I said that the energy on the military has changed? So it's no longer a kick in the boots, explosive, violent takeover, but it's a more peaceful, subdued, and yet the military is still involved. Well, other countries can actually come in and arrest someone who has an ICC warrant out for them. Yeah, that's legal. Yeah. Now, the reason it hasn't historically happened that way is because allies don't want to do that. Allies don't want to betray their allies that way. But guess what? He's pissed off every ally we have. It is in every other country's best interest to take him down. You guys, like, I don't want to get prematurely excited, but holy shit. We're going to calm down and wait and see. But isn't this crazy? And it is not just Gia just said that. It is you guys just said that. You guys have been dreaming it. What? Yeah, we're pretty awesome. We know what's up.